Howie Roseman is playing a game of high-stakes poker with the rest of the NFL, and he just shoved his entire stack into the middle of the table. If you thought the A.J. Brown trade rumors were dead, you couldn't be more wrong. In fact, the chaos is just getting started. While the rest of the league is playing checkers, the Eagles' front office is operating on a completely different dimension, and the latest news regarding Dallas Goedert's contract suggests a massive roster explosion is imminent. Is Howie about to pull off the greatest fleecing in franchise history? Or is he about to sabotage the most explosive offense in the NFC? Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The city of Philadelphia is currently holding its breath because the financial gymnastics happening behind the scenes are reaching a breaking point. We were all sitting on the edge of our seats waiting for a Friday deadline regarding Dallas Goedert's contract. Everyone expected a final decision on whether the veteran tight end would be part of the future or a victim of the salary cap. But in a classic power move, the organization pushed that void date back to Monday. This isn't just a simple delay. It's a calculated tactical strike. By moving that date, the front office has bought themselves a critical 72-hour window to figure out the biggest question in professional football. What is happening with A.J. Brown? This Goedert situation is a total disaster if they don't get it right. If they can't reach a new extension by Monday, they might be forced to cut him, triggering a dead cap hit of over $20 million. That is an insane amount of money to pay someone to not play for you. Goedert has been a warrior for this team since 2018, and he's coming off a career year with a massive connection to the quarterback. The system absolutely needs a high-end tight end to function. While the team brought in some depth recently, none of those names move the needle like Goedert does. But here is the kicker. The only reason they're stalling on Goedert is that they're waiting to see if a massive trade offer for A.J. Brown actually lands. But wait until you hear the specific demands Howie is making that sent the Buffalo Bills running for the hills. Is Howie Roseman a genius for holding out? Or is he playing a dangerous game that could destroy the locker room? Let's look at the absolute madness of the A.J. Brown trade market. It has been a total roller coaster. Teams have been blowing up the phones in Philly, but they are hitting a brick wall. We found out that the Buffalo Bills were deeply interested, but when they heard the asking price, they pivoted immediately and traded for DJ Moore instead. Why? Because Howie Roseman refuses to be fleeced. He is the one who does the fleecing. He is looking at the market and seeing what happened with Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. He knows A.J. Brown is younger and arguably more productive than those guys were when they were moved. If a team wants the best receiver in the NFC, they have to pay a Godfather price. We are talking a first-round pick and a second-round pick at a bare minimum. If you don't bring that to the table, Howie isn't even picking up the phone. But here is the problem. The math is terrifying. If the team trades A.J. Brown before June 1st, they take a nearly $49 million dead cap. That is a financial suicide mission. It would cost the team over $25 million in actual cap space just to let him walk out the door. The only way this makes sense is a post-June 1st deal where the pain is spread out over 2026 and 2027. Comment challenge. Who is to blame if this offense falls apart? Is it the front office for being too greedy or the players for wanting too much? Drop a name below. The leverage game is reaching a fever pitch. Reports are surfacing that the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams have had serious conversations about a deal. But as of this second, the talks have stalled. Why? Because the Patriots are offering late-round picks that don't help a team trying to win a Super Bowl right now. The Rams, however, are the team to watch. They have the 13th overall pick. If the Eagles could snag the 13th pick and another high asset, suddenly that $49 million cap hit starts to look a little more digestible. Imagine a world where Philadelphia walks into the draft with the 13th and 23rd overall picks. They could reload the defense or find a younger, cheaper receiver to pair with Devonta Smith. There have even been wild whispers about the Rams involving players like Puka Nacua or Jared Verse in these discussions. It sounds like a fever dream, but when you're dealing with a GM who treats the trade market like a game of Monopoly, nothing is off the table. If the Rams are desperate to win one last ring with their aging quarterback, they might just be crazy enough to meet the Eagles' demands. But even with all this trade talk, the reality is that the Eagles' offense is currently built around A.J. Brown's gravity. Taking him out of the lineup doesn't just hurt the stat sheet. It changes how every single defender plays against this team.
It's caught at the 30 by Devontae Smith. It really dictates the defense.
10 times harder. The team has already started drawing up plays for the new offensive scheme that heavily feature AJ. So, the message to the rest of the NFL is clear. Pay the King's ransom or get used to seeing number 11 torture secondary for another season. The clock is ticking toward Monday. If no A.J. Brown news breaks by then, expect the Goedert deal to be the first domino to fall. This is a master class in roster management, but the line between a masterpiece and a disaster is razor thin. If they keep AJ, they're Super Bowl favorites. If they trade him, they're betting the entire future of the franchise on draft picks that might never pan out. Would you like me to break down the potential replacement wide receivers the Eagles could target in the first round if this A.J.